Hello, welcome to Geeking Out with Shad. What is going on with Toyota? They just announced that they're going to have battery electric vehicle that goes 745 miles on a single charge and can recharge in 10 minutes. Like, wait a minute. Toyota was like not even in the game just a few months ago. They came out with this BZ4X or whatever, and it's like probably one of the worst rated EVs out there. Meanwhile, they have no push to like do EVs anywhere else, and then all of a sudden, within a few months, they're claiming they have this solid state battery technology figured out, and that by 2026 they're going to come out with a whole line of EVs. Like, really? But here's the thing. I haven't known Toyota to lie. I haven't known Toyota to make claims about things that they can't do. Toyota is a very reputable company and they've done a lot of amazing things. So they're going to come out and make this announcement. I've seen it in at least five different news headlines just this morning. And it's wild. The thing is if, and it's a big if it's true, it's going to completely revolutionize EVs as we know them. And it'll pretty much put the nail in the coffin on internal combustion engines, because internal combustion engine vehicles are pretty much at their end of their technological advancements. Like, you can't do much more, and to get more power out of them, it's old school thinking. Bigger motors, get more fuel and air mixture jammed in as hard and fast as you can, using a ton of fuel to do it just to get power. That's just not like there is no other solution there but to put more fuel in there and more pressure and more, right. It's kind of ridiculous. So they're kind of at the end. As impressive as it is, I mean, pretty cool. You got 800 horsepower muscle cars out there now, right? But EVs, they're just a no-brainer. And if we're going to accomplish these kind of goals of that kind of range and that kind of recharge rate, it's just a no-brainer to start transitioning over to EVs. And I like that, and I'll tell you why. I get it. Nobody wants EVs jammed down their throat. Nobody wants to be forced to buy them. When you tell somebody that you have to do this or you have to do that, nobody likes to be told what to do, especially not in the United States where we believe in freedom and all these things, right? But if we're going to make far superior products, regardless of what that product is, then it becomes a no-brainer. Then people choose to get it because it is a better solution. And Toyota is also claiming that these are going to be more affordable, that they're going to be cheaper to produce, things like that, using less materials. So the batteries are going to be half the size, using less materials, things like that, half the cost, all of that stuff. So it's all going in a positive direction, with the big if, right? If what Toyota is claiming is true, that's pretty awesome. A good example of this where people just start to embrace something because it's just a better technology is in motorcycles, especially dirt biking or motocross. There is I'd go back like 3 years and people were like, oh my gosh, EV or electric dirt bike, whatever, is a ridiculous idea or whatever. More and more people, because I know people that ride motocross and that love it and so on and so forth, they're starting to embrace battery powered electric dirt bikes at an alarming rate. And the reason why is because they just have that instant torque, that instant power. They're just a far more superior product, even though they weigh a bit more than a regular dirt bike. it's pretty interesting to see how the opinions change, and it's changing not because they're being forced to ride electric dirt bikes. It's because the electric dirt bikes are better. And so that's why they're starting to embrace them. So I want to see that happen with EVs. I don't want to see anything forced down anyone's throat. I just want people to embrace things because it's just a far more superior product. Well, if Toyota's claims are true, that is exactly what's going to happen. It's just going to be a no-brainer. Like, think about towing, right? Right now, with an internal combustion engine truck, if you're towing, you have to have massive fuel tanks, 33 gallons or more, super expensive to fill up, and you're getting less than half of your fuel economy, or you could say less than half of your range when you're towing, because it's just a lot of added weight, a lot of added wind resistance, things like that. It's expensive, and so on and so forth. The reason why people do it is because they want to be able to travel across the country, and they want to be able to stop and fuel up relatively quickly, and then they want to get back on the road. Well, if what Toyota claims is true, then in a few years, you'll be able to do that with an EV, and it'll be cheaper and it'll be easier to drive because electric motors have that instant torque. They are far superior for towing than gas-powered vehicles, even diesels, which tend to have a lot of torque. The electric, anytime you see an electric review, towing, electric pickup truck towing review, they talk about how great it is to tow with them. The biggest issue is range, and the biggest issue is how long it takes to recharge. Those are the two biggest complaints when it comes to towing with an EV, right? So this would solve that. And once that problem is solved, it's just a no-brainer. So I don't take these claims from Toyota with a grain of salt. Like, that's big news. That is gigantic news. And if you really think about it, Toyota isn't the only company pushing for solid state batteries, and they're not the ones pushing for higher range. It's just interesting that Toyota came on board and all of a sudden they're making these claims in such a short amount of time. It almost makes me wonder if they have been doing research and battery development behind the scenes for a long time and they just haven't been telling us about it, right? But yeah, that is amazing. It'll be a total revolution in battery electric vehicles, and it'll be just a no-brainer to switch. People won't need to be forced to buy EVs. They'll just buy them because it's the most logical thing to do. I mean, it's already getting there with what the technologies we have today. Granted, we need to improve the infrastructure. There's, certain problems to be solved, things like that. But we're getting there. And if what Toyota claims is true, it's just like kind of the nail in the coffin right there. Game on. Let's do it. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe.